Everybody, Jeff Marples, real estate broker. I help run a company, Marker Real Estate, Marker Luxury Properties. We have about 60 agents throughout California. But today I'm going to talk about really the local real estate market in San Francisco and Marin County. Now, these are the areas that I really cover as a realtor. So this is really for those homeowners in that area or the buyers that are in those areas. Now, San Francisco, I went back just now and I looked at the statistics from just 1 year. And I looked at the different variables. So San Francisco's single family home prices are down from 1 year about 8%. When you're looking at condos, they're down around 9 to 10% on condos. TICs down 14%. TICs are a little different though. And stock cooperatives, some of those bigger mid-century older buildings, they're down a staggering 22%. Now, those buildings have certain restrictions. They're also, the classic doorman buildings with higher HOA dues. So I can understand that. That's definitely the weakest part of the market. In Marin County, we have overall single family homes. They've dropped 8% over the last year. However, the weird part is single family homes have dropped, but condo prices in Marin County have basically flatlined. They've gone up, they come down. They are within 1% of where they were last year. The things that I'm seeing in the market right now are inventory. Inventory is starting to build a little bit. I typically see that after Labor Day. However, there is a lag this year, in my opinion. And I also think it's part of the reason is days on market is taking a lot longer to sell property. Now, yes, there are price drops in this marketplace. And if you are a buyer, you really have to start paying attention because all of the buyers out there, everybody's been on hold trying to make things happen. Sellers out there, they're not selling unless they really need to. But buyers, realistically, you make your money in real estate when you buy it. And so what we're finding is we're sort of saying that buyer market is almost sort of, we're in a position where sellers are getting more and more motivated and they're going to need to, lower their price a little bit. Or if you're an aggressive buyer, you could push out those prices and push them down a little bit. So, we are sort of getting good for a buyer's market for it to flip. For sellers, there's still going to be some pain, in my opinion, simply because, it's a slow moving market. And if you have a really good property and it's priced right, it will sell. If it's not priced right, it'll linger on the market a little bit. And that's what I think. A lot of sellers are listing their properties a little bit higher and hoping to be able to negotiate. But my experience also is sometimes buyers will look at something and they'll just walk away because whatever reason, and they don't circle the wagon sometimes. So those are the things that we're sort of finding in the marketplace. And clearly it depends on where the property is, what the overall condition is, and all of that. That's all going to affect the values. Now, let's talk about mortgages. Now, I follow that 10-year treasury every day, and it's painful to watch. But last week, it actually came down a pretty good clip. It's up today a little bit. But I also read that it affected mortgage rates. Mortgages came down about 0.25% last week. And so those two indicators, mortgage rates and tenure, they don't go hand in hand, but they kind of do. The trend line typically is about the same. So really what I think is going to happen here, and this is my guess, I don't have a crystal ball. I listen to a lot of financial experts and nobody knows what's going on. Clearly, we have some geopolitical pressure that could hurt inflation from an oil perspective because we do have the Straits of Hormuz. A lot of people are upset with Iran right now, so that could be an issue. We also have commercial loans that are going to be coming due in the next 18 months. So that could affect the bigger banks, but small banks also could feel some pinch from that, and they might need some support. So if those are the cases, that's also one of the things that really comes down to like the Fed chair, what they're going to be doing. Because I've read plenty of people saying if rates go any higher, it's really going to make the crunch on that. And that comes down to the credit market and the credit crunch. And is that going to be the straw? So I think we're at this precipice moment. Some people are talking about the Fed increasing rates in November. I just don't know. I wish I did. But if they do, I suspect that we're sort of bottomed out. The one thing to really remember here is if you are in the market to buy and you're a little bit afraid of the mortgage rates, respectfully, what I've been having conversations with a lot of people is the 3-2-1 buy down, right? And the 3-2-1 buy down is a situation where you work with a seller, you try to get sort of points pushed into the loan, so you're paying down the loan for the first year 3 points, second year 2 points, third year 1 point, and then you refinance. And the bet is really in 3 years from now, we're going to be through this. And realistically, if you can navigate, a 3 years and then refinance, and you push down that rate 3 points to start, and as long as you are in your comfort zone at the worst case, right, then hey, look, you're buying down a rate, and then you're also taking advantage of the marketplace as it comes down, right? So I don't know how further this will go. I suspect that maybe a little bit lower. There's going to be more pain for sellers and owners. The reality is when sellers sell and they sell lower, well, that's going to affect overall ownership rates and value rates for everybody in the neighborhood, right? So those owners, I think, are going to hold tight until rates come down, until they get into the high 5s, maybe 6% range. And then I think the market's going to open up sometime. So is it going to happen tomorrow? No. Is it going to happen next year? If we do go into a recession, which, they've been talking about for how long? 18 months? It will push the prices down on interest rates. It'll push prices down. So we're in this conundrum. We're once again in this area that we've never been in. I have gone through, from a real estate perspective, the 2008 market. That took 4 years to correct. We are not in that same set of circumstances at all. Completely different right now. So what I would really say is, buyers start looking. Know about that 3-2-1 buy down. Make sure that your lender is familiar and knows what to do on that. And then it really does come down to negotiation with the buyer and seller regarding that, and to be able to get some equity into that loan to push down that rate so you're not hammered on it. And then outside, there's a calculated risk. Everything's a calculated risk. If I walked across the street in front of a bus, it's a calculated risk. So just mitigate those risks as much as possible. For sellers out there, I'm sorry, there's going to be some pain out there still, in my opinion, as we sort of weather the storm. Value and listing price is a strategic art. It is. So you got to think about these things when you list your property. And realistically, I think inventory is going to be low for some time to come. So, those people that are moving, they need to move. If they are not needing to move and they want to move, they can rent out their property, because realistically they have a 3% mortgage, right? So interesting times for sure. I'm hoping everybody is safe, especially as we're going through this crazy geopolitical point. And, unbelievable. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just wishing everybody a happy day. Hug your kids, and I hope everybody takes care of themselves. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always around. You can give me a call. I love to chat. So you guys have a fantastic day. And thank you so much for watching if you got to this point. All right. Thank you so much.